Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti. I am MrPhotographer.com. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to create that dreamy, ethereal Lord of the Rings look using Photoshop. It's super easy to do. You do not have to be a Photoshop expert to do this. I think it looks great on portraits. It also works well with landscape images, and it will really make a night cityscape something special. Now we're going to work on this image here. As we look over at the layers panel, you can see I just have the background layer. I'm going to duplicate this layer by hitting Command J on my Mac. It's Control J on a PC. Now, we're going to take this layer that we just created and we're going to make it a smart object. Now, I'm going to explain why in a moment. To make it a smart object, just right click on it and then go up to Convert to Smart Object. So now it's a smart object. Now we're going to add some blur to it. Go up to Filter, down to blur, then over to Gaussian blur. Now the big question, how much blur should you add to this? Well, to start out with, I would recommend somewhere between 5 and 15 pixels, but because it's a smart object, we'll be able to come back in and readjust the blur. If it wasn't a smart object, if it was just a normal layer, whatever pixel radius we choose here will be baked into that layer and we won't be able to readjust it. That's why I suggest you make that a smart layer like we did. So I mentioned somewhere maybe between 5 and 15. It really depends on the resolution of your image, and it also depends on the look you're going for. So we'll go with 10.1 to start with, and we'll click OK. Now again, because it's a smart object, if I want to readjust it, just double click where it says Gaussian blur, and I could come back in and readjust that. If it wasn't a smart object, I wouldn't be able to do that. Now, change the blend mode. Again, this depends upon the look you're going for. You choose from one of 4 different blend modes, or maybe more. You could try the other ones as well. But the 4 that I found work best are either Lighten, you can see that gives it kind of an Orton look. Screen, that makes it kind of brighter, more of a high-key Orton look. Overlay, that's a little more subdued. Or soft light. I like soft light a lot, but let's just go with overlay because I like that only because it has really more contrast to it. But I could come back in here and readjust this Gaussian blur. I'll double click on that and let's just try something outrageous. We'll just crank this way up. Now look at that. See the difference? Or I could bring it way down. Let's bring it way up again. I kind of like that. That's a real kind of dreamy, ethereal look. And we'll click OK. Now also, because this is a smart object, we could do other things to it and then go back in and readjust those things. For example, if I go up to Image, Adjustments, and I want to add a levels adjustment to this. Let's say I just want to make these darker areas brighter. So I'll go to Output Levels and I'll just pull that way. To make it a little brighter in the dark areas, a little less contrast. Click OK. Now you can see that's there as well. Levels, Gaussian blur. I could come in and readjust either of those two things. So that's the advantage of making that layer a smart object. And that's it. I like kind of levels off though. I like it kind of darker, I think. Maybe I don't. I don't know. But either way, that's the look that I'm talking about. This kind of Lord of the Rings style look. Experiment with it. If you like it and you post anything to Instagram, tag me in it so I could see it. I am at Anthony Morganti on Instagram, so I'm really interested in seeing anything you come up with. Thank you, everyone who watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.